Good evening, everybody. This is The Ring, the Cage, and the Stage. I'm your host, Chandler Sarles, and today we have none other than David McElfresh, also known as Davey Mack. How you doing tonight, Davey?
Oh, doing great, man. Thanks for having me.
Right on. Well, the first question I have for you is basically, how did you get started in music? I've seen you play fiddle and guitar. Basically, what other instruments do you know how to play, and just how did you get started? Was Lethal your first band?
Well, I had a couple, high school things. I basically started, I guess, around the age of 14. I picked up guitar and took some lessons from a couple local guys, and then ended up hooking up with Eric Cook. He was our guitarist that founded Lethal, actually. He's about, 6, 7 years older than me. He was a great guy, kind of like a big bro, and stuff. And he passed, sadly, in 2012. So we're trying to get this last recording that we actually started with him when he was still here. We did it back in '08, and it's just a 5-song EP, but it's just taking some time. A lot of stories to the songs and stuff, but it covers a good span of what the band had done over the years. So looking forward to getting that one out. But yeah, that was kind of the first thing, and I took up a class in high school playing violin. Technically, I guess, fiddle, violin, same instrument, just depending on what you're playing. So that was something to do. Of course, you're in high school wondering what you're going to do with your life, and I was considering on, I went to college for a couple years of music, so had to do all kinds of courses on different instruments, but mainly I'm just a fiddler and guitar player. I mean, of course, could play some bass or something like that, but never like really in a band,
But you always knew you wanted to do
and mandolin too.
Right? So
Right.
you always knew you wanted to do music, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely one of those things that, I think a lot of people just love to play regardless, and trying to make a living out of it, it's a little bit of a different kind of situation, but, it's just one of those things that I think are a great thing to get into. Some people like to do art, and some people are into the sports things. I tried all that stuff early on, but music was definitely something that always called me from, being a kid listening to Pink Floyd and AC/DC and, early classic country stuff, Hank Williams and Johnny Cash stuff. It was just always something that resonates.
Did your family have a musical background, and did you attend music school in Kentucky?
We just had basic music classes in public schools here is really all I did. And no, my grandpa played a little bit of guitar, and my dad could pick a few chords here and there, but he never was too into it. But he did show me my first G chord, I guess, so, got to hand it there.
I hear you. My next question is, how would you describe the current status of Moonbow? What is going on next for them?
Right now we're kind of at a little bit of a hiatus. Our bass player Ryan had just gotten married this past year and has just had a lot going on. So we've done a couple shows this year, a stoner rock fest up in Indy a couple months ago, and that was a good time. And had a fill-in bassist that actually mastered in our last album, and he recorded the first one, Jason Groves. So he was able to step up and fill in for us. But right now we're just kind of, I've got another project with Matt from Moonbow called Soulgroup. It's a little bit more acoustic and rock instead of the real heavy stuff. So, but there will be more stuff coming. It's just kind of got it all fall into place. There's just too many irons in the fire right now.
When can we see, for Soulgroup, your most forthcoming release? When can we expect to see more of that?
We're actually kind of hitting a pre-production type phase right now, kind of getting some songs arranged out and still doing some writing. So I'm thinking we should have a good amount if we're going to try to do a full length. I don't know if it'll be an EP or a full album. But yeah, that should be, I'm thinking sometime in the spring of 2019 we should have something new and try to get back out there and have some fun with it this year.
Okay. My next question was going to be, just as a fan over the course of your entire life, could you name off the top of your head some of the best live music performance you've witnessed from the audience?
You mean as far as me attending a concert or something like that?
Yes, exactly.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, of course, seeing Sabbath for the first time, even though it was around the time when they were doing the Ozfest, was just really something to see. You know, them opening with Fairies Wear Boots and the whole lineup build with them. That was amazing. Pink Floyd, one of my favorite bands of all time. Seeing them back in '87, I think it was.
So no Roger Waters.
No, sadly, Roger wasn't with them on that one, but it was still just something, you know, I guess 15 in high school, and it was definitely an experience, you know, the lights, and then just, you know, how well it sounds. And I'm a big Gilmore fan as well. I wish those guys could put aside their differences, but it is what it is.
Did you at least get to see Bill Ward with Sabbath? I'm not sure what year you saw him, but I drove all the way to Noblesville, Indiana to see them after their last album, and of course it was Tommy from Ozzy on drums, but I was glad I got to see the three front guys playing.
Yeah, actually Bill Ward was playing back then. I think it was right around the year 2000, I think, or 2001 or something. It's already been a while.
Okay, my next question, I know a lot of people have been wondering lately on Saving Country Music. They've had open letters. I honestly forgot on August 14th, 2014, or no, I'm sorry, it was August 8th, 2014, was the last time I saw you play with Hank, and I went back and looked at the videos. You were on fiddle after there was a couple of lineup changes. Is there anything you can say about what you might think will happen in the future regarding you touring and playing with Hank 3?
As far as I know, I mean, he's just still trying to settle in to the right situation, I guess, the living situation, and he's been writing, he said, and I don't know. I know everything just sometimes has to work out with timing and everything. I mean, that's a crucial part of it all, but you know, when he gives me the go, you know, I'd love to get back out there, man, and you know, definitely play. It's always been a fun time, and you know, I was a fan of his music before I got a chance to play some fiddle with him, so I'm looking forward to getting back out there, but I understand everybody's got different things going on in their lives, and
of course,
it will come together when it does.
So it's safe to say that he has been writing from the talking you have done with people, and if there was to be another show announced in the future, would it be safe to say that you would be on fiddle still?
As far as I know, unless he's pulling something that I don't know about, but I don't think that's the case. Now we talk, you know, every other month, you know, here and there, and just keep in touch. But you know, again, I don't hound him for anything like that. You know, music's a strange thing where sometimes when it's not happening, you got to find work, and some people would be down in Nashville, you know, slugging it out, playing every day. And but I've been fortunate enough to have some, you know, work painting houses back here at home and keeping afloat that way. And but yeah, I would say when he kicks it all up again, I should be out there. You know, if everything goes right.
Well, that is good news. I'm glad to hear that. Davey, I have one more question for you, and once again, I really appreciate you giving me the time today. Aside from Soulgroup that you are working on now, basically my question is, what is next for Davey Mack? What else are you working on? What's your immediate plans for the future with your music?
Well, Lethal, like I said, has this EP that'll be coming out, and we'll be getting it out to some labels to see who might want to put that out or distribute for us. So that should be an exciting time, and I'm thinking that's going to be right after the holidays. That'll be kicking up pretty good. We're in very final mix phases now with that. So there's that, the Soulgroup stuff that we're writing now, and then I'll be helping some friends of mine I've been playing fiddle with throughout the summer on some shows called Kentucky Mile.
Okay.
It's a husband-wife duo, great songwriters, great people, great harmonies, very traditional country kind of mountain music stuff, just really good. So I'm going to be helping them record their album and playing fiddle and some mandolin on that or whatever's called for. So that should be something fun to keep it on the countryside of things. And again,
is that something that already has material out now that I would be able to look up?
Yeah, I'm not on their first release, but they do have an album out already. Yeah, I think it's called A Vein of Coal, actually.
Kentucky Mile.
Yeah, Kymyle.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, Davey, that was all I had for you today. I just wanted to ask a few questions about your career and what's coming up and what's been going on. Once again, for everybody listening, this is David McElfresh of Lethal and Hank 3 and Moonbow. Thank you so much for your time, David, and I really appreciate it.
Sounds great, Chandler. I appreciate you looking me up, man.
All right, man. You have a great rest of the night and take care.
You too, bud. Thanks, man.
Have a good night.
Later.